Hello and welcome to episode 2. So today, as you can see, we're bringing up a fuel segment to the station. This is going to be a much heavier launch than the last one, so I'm not entirely sure at this point how large my margins will be for getting to orbit, but we'll see. So here I am, once again taking off from KSC. This time I think I'm going to speed up the video quite a lot in some of the boring parts. I think I'll probably, even in future videos, probably just cut the launch and landing, because to be honest, it's always the same. A secondary part of today's mission is to repair the broken solar panels that exploded last time. So if you can see, we have Bill along for the ride this time. He's an engineer, so hopefully he can get those solar panels back. So on the last episode there was a request for me to add the background music, and I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to do that because since I need to speed up the video, if I had sound attached to it before the acceleration, the sound would be messed up as well. So I could always just add the sound afterwards, but it wouldn't actually be the sound from the game. And when it comes to my audio, I know it's not very good, but hopefully I can get a new microphone sometime soon, but this is going to have to do for now. So anyway, here I am circularizing the orbit. Here I'm accelerating, speeding up the video to 3 times, just so I can get it over with. So as you can see, the circularization burn is much larger this time because the first stage wasn't able to push, well, the now heavier load that high. Speaking of which, eventually I feel like I might run into a problem because the cargo bay, as you can see, is not very large. And when I'm thinking about how many fuel pods I'll need to actually be useful for a station, I'm actually going to need at least 7 or 8 of these. And, I mean, that's going to make my part count go up quite high, and I'm not entirely sure how well that will work, but I mean, I should just try it for now. If I need to modify the shuttle to carry more weight later on, then I suppose I can. As of now, this should be fine. So here we are switching back to the first stage landing. This is definitely one of the parts I'll consider cutting in the next video. Okay, so here we are just gliding down to a safe landing. Okay, now to recover it, and then back to the shuttle. So next I have to rendezvous with the station. This is pretty time consuming, so it's also sped up. I might cut this from future videos as well, we'll see. Or I might just accelerate a lot, we'll see. I have this part at 4 times speed, I think. 3 or 4 times. So here I am matching the inclination of the target. Next step is to increase my orbit to maybe 200 kilometers so that I can let the station catch up to me so I can then rendezvous with it at an appropriate time. So here I am just circularizing. As you can see, my fuel situation is getting a little bit critical. In the end, I end up having to take some fuel out of the cargo to actually finish the mission. I mean, I wish I could have avoided that, but I can always just send up a second mission just to refill the tank if I have to. So here you see me just trying to find a close enough intercept. And I've almost got it. And there we go. So I'm just going to finish this maneuver and then match speed with the target, and I'm sure most of you know exactly how this goes anyway. So while this finishes up, I might as well just talk about what I might do in the next episode. So now that I have a fuel unit on the station, I think I might actually be ready to start a MUN station. So one possible thing I could do next episode is go and launch a shuttle with another station core, dock at the station, refuel the shuttle, and then go to the moon, to MUN I mean, and then deploy the station core. I think that would be a pretty good idea. I could also just bring up another fuel section, not sure which yet. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. So here I am matching velocity. Eventually, after I get a station around the MUN, I'm going to have to start work on a base, and I think I mentioned this in the last video. It's going to be pretty hard to figure out how to land this shuttle on the surface and of the moon. I'm not sure if I can do that. We'll see. I might consider just lowering my periaps to like just above the surface, and then killing all of my horizontal velocity, and then touching down as if it were a runway. But I'd need to find a really large flat area for that. I guess I'll figure that out later. So the plan now is to first attach the new fuel unit, and then afterwards I'll do the repair job. Okay, so here I'm preparing to release the cargo, and I hope that we don't have any explosions this time. I'm also transferring some fuel back into the cargo. Okay, no explosions, always good. Okay, so now I'm switching to this, and I'll just try and dock it. Unfortunately, it takes me quite a while, but the video is sped up, so it shouldn't be too bad. So here we go, I'm moving towards the station. Still fairly new at docking without autopilot, so usually takes me a while. Okay, so here I am pretty much lined up with the docking port, and I'm just moving forward. I'm hoping I can finish docking before nighttime, because that always makes things harder. And we're almost there. And that's done. Okay, so now to get Bill all the way over there. The EVA packs have quite a lot of fuel, so it's usually not a problem. This part is also sped up 4 times. So this will be my first time actually using CAS in orbit. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I left this part at normal speed because it's actually pretty interesting. So there you see my inventory, and I have the all-important screwdriver and the spare solar panels. So I'm trying my best not to crash into the functioning panels above my head. So at first I tried to grab on and repair it from the ladder, but then I realized that I actually can't grab things while I'm holding on. I end up having to just float around and then do it that way. So it takes me a little while to figure out the controls. As you can see, I'm trying to figure out how to detach this. At the same time, I'm also trying to avoid floating away, so it's pretty difficult multitasking. So that's why I quick save in case something goes wrong. So since in this series I'm not allowed to create space junk, I'm trying to take the broken panels and put them in my inventory. So I have to figure out how to do that too. And then for some reason, while I'm moving parts, the RCS seems to want to make me stand on my head. I'm not entirely sure why. So as you can see, I can't really add it to my inventory because it weighs too much. So I decide to attach the fresh panels first to lose some weight, and then drag the broken ones back. So here you can see I finally got it attached. But then I realize it's a little bit out of line with the others. So I decide to move it over like half an inch. And there we go, it's attached. So now I just have to pick up the broken panel. And there we go, repair part 1 is complete. Now I have one more panel to fix and I'll be done. It's sort of hard to work here in the shadow of the command pod. So here I drop the broken panel and start attaching the new one. Can't really see where I'm attaching it, so I'm just basically hoping that I get it right. Here the RCS seems to have a mind of its own again. So now all I have to do is get into the station without destroying any of the new panels that I just put up. For some reason I'm drifting over to this side. So eventually I get control and start moving over to the hatch. So I've decided not to record the shuttle landing. It's basically the exact same as the one in the first episode, and if you really want to see what it's like, you can always go back and watch that one. Let me know if you want me to include it in the next video, but since this episode's going sort of long already, I think I'll just leave that part out. Okay, so repair is complete. Just extending the panels. So now I'm going to warp over to the light side of the planet just so I can see how it looks. And it looks pretty symmetrical to me, so I'm happy with that. I think from now on I might fold the panels whenever I have a craft docking just to be safe. I'd hate for a module to spin out of control and then break some. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have planned for this episode, so let me know what you think I should do next time, whether it's start a base around the Mun or whether you want me to just continue building this station. It's basically up to you, just let me know. So here it is. As you can see, it's actually not full of fuel right now. At some point I'm going to have to refill that, but that would be a pretty boring mission. I might actually just do that off camera. Alright then, so that's it. I'll try and get a better mic soon. Hope the audio isn't too bad. See you next time.